Okay, so here's our bonus video, and I'm sitting here with Kosmo. I'm thinking about what I want to say, and the first thing I want to say is how grounding the horses have been for me. I get out and ride them, obviously in this beautiful sacred land in Sedona, but also I've noticed that you can ride a horse anywhere and it's pure magic, really. Especially out on trail, out in a forest, wherever you live, there's got to be some sort of natural environment trails. Even if you're riding in the arena, you can do this. So what I often would do was wake up in the morning and meditate. Do my yoga, breath work, meditation routine. And then I would come out and ride. And I noticed that there was a difference between when I rode the horses after meditation and when I rode the horses just normal, not meditating. And I noticed a huge difference in their demeanor and how they were. So one of the things I noticed was as we're riding and I'm feeling much more grounded after a deep meditation, I also noticed that since my aura was full of spiritual energy from meditating, that they were much calmer and more peaceful. They would be less spooky, a little bit harder to get moving if I want to trot or canter or something. But I noticed that they enjoyed it more and were more relaxed when I'd ride them out here after meditation. So another thing that I want to mention too is if you're beginning to think about creating your own horse healing session, I suggest if you don't ride horses and you just love them, that's fine, but I suggest go and take some riding lessons and learn how to ride and learn how to communicate with your body and your mind with the horse so that when you ride or when you go to do a healing session, you have that much more of a connection with them. So for instance, Kosmo, when I first got him, I bought him, I think about 7 years ago. He wasn't finished, so he needed to finish his training as far as riding and not being spooky or being overbearing. So he is an alpha male, he's an alpha horse, the alpha of the herd, so I had to work a little bit extra hard. Even though I had been a horse trainer for many, many years, I had to figure out what works for him, what works for this animal. So I suggest riding, learning your horses or your horse, and really getting to know them on the ground, getting to know them on their back, riding, taking riding lessons, go take a clinic. I took several clinics with Buck Brannaman with Kosmo in order to learn to, I guess you could say, negotiate with this horse better because he's so big, and it really helped me to get inside his brain and learn to control his feet in a firm but fair way, and it taught me a lot about myself. So that even increased my sessions with helping people, my clients, with their horse healing sessions. So everything translates into your life in our relationships, especially with our horses. So another thing that comes to mind to share with you is to make sure you're taking really good care of your horses, just like you take good care of yourself or your children, your family. Make sure they're getting wormed, make sure they're getting their vaccinations as needed, make sure they're getting their exercise and proper nutrition, make sure they're getting their teeth done, make sure they have deworming every spring and fall, make sure that they are happy and healthy so that when we go to serve our clients, they look healthy, they have a sparkle to their coat, and they are ready to serve. I also noticed that as I did more and more sessions with my horses, I noticed that less, I guess you could say, inconvenient things would happen because not only are we helping people, but we're also generating good karma, and so are our horses. So in other words, as we give and share with others, we receive good things in our life.